So, good morning. I'm rambling and it's 8:03 and welcome to the intersection. Like I was telling everyone else, it's really hard to show your aging virtually in front of other people, but yeah, there's that. I'm double booked today, but it's good to see all of you here. Um, and somebody's going to keep us connected with Monica showing up. Does anybody have announcements that they would like to announce? I know that I saw quickly that Martha Ann put something into chat. Martha, did you want to say something about that?
Well, next week, really look forward to David Gershom, who has had a website, the Empowerment Institute, and he is the main person in social change. He's worked with whole cities, whole countries, large corporations with social change. And he does a lot of pro social research on this. And the 7 actions are really helpful. If we are each building the good, our good ripples out and it touches the good of the next person and it multiplies. Then, secondly, I want to invite everybody to the Barefoot Walk, March 22nd, and I'm going to put that in the chat box. And you'll remember some time ago, we had Israeli Women Wage Peace speaking at the intersection. Well, they and Palestinian Women of the Sun, who had been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, they got Vital Voices, a feminist group in all over the world, but they're going to be centered in Rome, and they're going to walk barefoot together, saying, we are together, we are vulnerable, we don't want any more of our children to be killed. And they want people all over the world to do that. So we're going to do it on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, starting at Confluence Park, Sunday, March 22nd. And I'm looking for co-sponsors. We want 100 groups co-sponsoring this. If you believe that no other child should be killed or have to kill, you are a person who could and should be a sponsor. This is not any money or anything. This is just helping to spread the word. So I'll put that in the chat box.
Thank you, Martha Ann. So, and yes, we're looking forward to Peace by 2030 next week to present. I'm looking forward to Peace like by yesterday. Could we make that happen? So,
Here's what Martha Ann says on a completely different tangent. And if you'll allow, next weekend, the Master Gardeners are holding Cultivate session. So if you're into gardening, I've got a link in the chat for that. I'll go with peace first, but if you can't do that, I guess come learn how to garden.
Yeah, but gardening is peacemaking.
That's true. That is
so
true.
Whatever we do, together for the planet, for people, it ripples out. So gardening is very much a peacemaking.
Looks like Martha Jones has her hand up.
Yep, I was just going to call on Martha.
One question, which might come up later, I mean, you could answer it later, and that's, I thought for a while that there needs to be like a community bulletin board about all these different actions, and I thought about putting one up myself on Facebook, but I didn't want to duplicate anybody's efforts. Am I audible?
So are you asking about like a calendar of postings of efforts? Am I understanding your question?
Yes, because we keep hearing about this wonderful thing and that wonderful thing, and it's hard to all. Also, people who don't make a particular meeting may not get the word.
Yeah. Well,
just put
one,
it.
There is we have recordings every week.
Yeah.
And you can listen to the recordings all the way back for a couple years if you wanted to. But so if you miss a Thursday morning, you can also go to the recording and get that. But there currently, I am not aware of a running calendar that anyone is keeping of all the wonderful events that are happening in San Antonio.
There's not
So
a calendar, but there is a place to post flyers. I just put the link in the chat.
there you
San
go.
Antonio Compassion Coalition. You can send him a flyer and he'll put it on the website. He's another hub like Sacred. But that's his niche. And so I've been encouraging everybody, send your flyers there, and that way we all know where to find them.
All right. I still do not see Monica in the participant list. Is anybody else? Is Monica here?
I haven't been successful in hearing back from her. I just
I haven't
left a
either.
message again. What I can do is there's a video. If we can share the screen, I can share a video and kind of lean
Let's
into
just do
that
that,
and
Peter,
buy some
and
time until she gets on. Well,
or just we
hold
can
on.
go ahead with that, and because people have shown up for that. So,
Hello?
I had one more
Hold on.
very short thing. Actually, Sister Martha Ann should be probably speaking to this. You mentioned the gardening and so on. Sister Alice Holden has gone to her reward. Martha, would you want to just say a short word while we get this, while Peter gets lined up?
She was such a significant person promoting interfaith gatherings, promoting spirituality, encouraging artists, doing poetry. And tonight at the big chapel of the Incarnate Word, we gather and pray and then have stories about her. The stories are always the best thing. And then tomorrow morning at 10, there is the funeral, again, the big chapel, and anybody and everybody is invited. And I can put that in the chat also. Thank you.
Yeah, that's for Sister Alice Holden. Martha Jones, for some reason, I don't know whether it's your sound system. It's very difficult to understand. But that's okay. We're all good. So, Peter, how are we doing?
Okay. She's got the link now. Apparently, she didn't have the link in that text or email that she received. So I got her the link and she's about to get on. But meanwhile, let's run that video if we could. If I could share my screen and then I can share the video and kind of
Billy's on the
prompt it.
phone.
Okay.
Lauren's getting to see the
Are you
best
good,
of
Monica?
us this week.
Okay. I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent it to her again this morning, the link.
She should be hopping on any moment.
Yeah. Billy. Yeah, for some reason he's on the phone. What a day, right? I don't know what the deal is. Maybe we're all growing older every day, older and wiser. I read a comment not long ago, growing old is cool. We're all doing it. So, there's that, right?
But while we're waiting, let me go ahead and play that video. If we can get,
Are you
Billy
able
has
to
to get
share?
me to share. Let me
Okay.
see. Let me see if I can share my screen. No.
Yeah, Billy, and
Yeah,
he's the host, and
he'd have to do it.
for some reason he's on the phone. I don't know what that is. So next time we learn that, somebody else, somebody needs to be a co-host so we can do these things.
But I'll start by just saying thank you, Anne, for all the support of this program that I've participated in, as Monica should be coming on shortly. That we can see that video, maybe we can prompt that at some point once Billy gets on. But it's second cohort. It's the City of San Antonio's RevitalizeSA corridor program that, at least I'll share my part of it, that I was able to come on board the first part of last year. And it's a 9-month program that I experienced and has been so instrumental in building my capacity in community. and I think she's on now.
Okay, great.
And Monica
Um,
is my point of contact
I
as
was
we're
just going to ask you
incorporated.
to introduce Monica.
Yeah, so she's with the Department of Economic Development, and she's well versed in supporting small businesses and in the community. And I'm going to turn it over to her. Monica, are you good?
And we can't hear you, Monica. Try a different microphone or setting.
Hear me? Can you hear me now?
There
We
we
can hear
go.
you now.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that. Thank you all for being so patient this morning. I just jumped on the link and I wanted to
It
introduce
should be
myself.
open.
My name is Monica Cantu, and I work for the Economic Development Department at the City of San Antonio. Thank you, Peter, and thank you, Anne, for hosting me today and allowing me to talk a little bit about our program. The Revitalize San Antonio program is a corridor leadership program. There is no charge to it. It's a 6-month leadership program. We do ask that you make yourself available for 12 of those session days. They're usually 9 to 5. And they're every other Tuesday, rotating starting on April 14th. And after the 6 months, you will be allowed to apply for a grant. And we call it a change grant. And what it is, it's money to revitalize a certain corridor of San Antonio. So with the planning team, as well as many different COSA departments, you will put a plan together on how you would like to revitalize the corridor. We have had many different projects, including Peter's projects, and he's worked also with Erica Benavides, continued the work after cohort 1 going into cohort 2. This year will be cohort 3. So we do have many contacts that you'll be able to meet at the city level, as well as working with our partners, Main Street America. They're out of Chicago, and they've done many leadership programs throughout the United States. I highly recommend their curriculum. It's definitely centered around leadership and corridor revitalization. So that's our main focus. Do I have any questions about the program itself? The applications are open right now, and they will be open until March 10th at 3 p.m.
Can you tell us, Monica and or Peter, in all those months of training, what are the concepts that are covered in the training? You've given us great detail of it's open and how often it meets and the grant opportunity. But if you could share the concepts or some of them.
Yes, absolutely. So it is really based in placemaking, and the concepts come from Main Street America. They use something called a 4-point approach, and that approach goes through the detail of revitalizing a corridor and being a leader in your community. So it has information about developing the corridor. It has information about creating networks within your community, and just showing you ways that you can connect. And it's really centered around leadership, but leadership around the development of the city.
And I would say, and to add to that, it's very hands-on in community. You're engaging. We go into community and really get you outside of the box of being able to engage and how to really become part of the community's vision and incorporate that into the project. And I think each corridor is so unique, and we have 14 cohorts members that were representing 14 different corridors in the city. And I had the privilege of being partnered with, and then you break into like subgroups, and it's like working groups. And then you meet with different individuals, different agencies, different department leads, and different resources. And I had the privilege of being with Jeremy Lankin with Maestro, and then also with James Nortley of Sage, two EDs that are doing this economic development work. And here I am, I'm trying to learn this and build capacity, and because the project I'm working on is multifaceted. It's not only economic development, but it has social and it has environmental resiliency. And so being able to incorporate those principles that I learned from the economic development component, but they just really bleed into the others so nicely, that the collaborations that we had on the corridor uh, in the program really benefited me, because I could always bounce back, and even the resources that we connected to over those 9 months. I mean, so many different individuals that we're able to meet with and pull into the resources. So when we launched, as we did with building capacity and access to resources, I'm bringing those people to the table. So very tangible benefits that we can bring to community. And Main Street America, they do this across the country, and they also have grant funding. And so linking and leveraging funding, access to resources, and building capacity and building the leaders. This program transformed. It was originally meant to be, we're going to give a grant. This is the old school style. Let's put money into a project and let's see what the project does. But this program says, let's build the leaders in that community so that they can continue to build people, and in that build the projects that are being instituted. And I think that's the real benefit that I've seen, is the linking and leveraging of the resources, but the building of capacity.
Wow. It almost makes you want to do, offer it to community, like, could we do that at the intersection? That's amazing. And we've all seen, by the way, Monica, what Peter has built from that. We're witnessing, being a part of it, and powerful program. So this is the second year or going into the third year of this? I'm doing my
Yes,
math.
this will be the third year. Yes.
Great. Are there other thoughts or questions? There must be interest, because this is a large crowd showing up today. So just so you know, Monica, there are people interested. Other questions? I want to look at chat real quick.
And I would say today, even for Monica, so she's going to be at our event tonight, presenting an update on this, that the program is open. We have the Quintana Empowerment and Resiliency Summit Workshop. It's the second of the project. We had a summit in November, which we really laid out, here's what's going on, here's what we're doing. And now today we're doing the workshop, which is now we're getting into much like the lab work that Sacred is doing and our group is doing here, where now we're drilling down into how do we make these connections to make these things tangible. And so she's going to be there. And then after that, from what I understand, Joe Bravo, which is another cohort, they have their event, and she'll be presenting there as well. So today's a really busy day for Monica, presenting here, then with us, and then she's leaving our event and then going to Joe Bravo's event, another cohort member. So a lot of synergy, and I'm excited because it's not just economic development, but that's what it's like, the tip of the spear. But there's so many other influences that this program has really empowered there. Like I mentioned, and you've been tracking this with the Office of Sustainability. They've made so many investments there. So we planted all these seeds in an ecosystem in that community. And this is just another part of that, the seeds that are being planted. We've partnered, and we're actually received a grant. Well, not a grant, it's a contract. Jesus Rendon, and he's on the call, actually. Jesus Rendon is I think he's on the call, but he's the owner and the founder of the Rendon Entrepreneurial Center, who I'm partnered with, where we're going to have the event tonight. And he's got a vision for that place that is exactly in line with this, is to be geekdom on the South Side for small and micro businesses. And this is what we're doing there. Since we don't have a business development corporation, right, organization there in that part of the city, this is really taking the place of that work. And if Jesus, are you on the call? I know he was on earlier, but he received a contract.
There is a question: what informal prerequisites would people benefit from having before the training? Is the training in, my thing just jumped, in Spanish and English?
Thank you for your questions. We do have Spanish translation available if it is needed. And the training is, I think somebody asked about the prerequisites. The only prerequisite we have is just to be either living or working in San Antonio for a year. We do want to show people that are invested in the San Antonio community. And besides that, we do ask for a letter of intent or a letter of recommendation from, it could be anyone, it could be from your employer, from a nonprofit organization, just to show that, you do have some, stake in the game and you're interested in becoming a leader in your area. So those are the only two things we do require. And any background information would be just working in your community in general. It could be, like I said, for a nonprofit. It could be for the current work that you're doing now in your day job. It could be something you've retired from doing. Just really being a champion for your area, San Antonio in general.
Mhm. I know it's a question in people's minds. What size are the potential grants at the end of the training?
Yes. So the last 2 years, we have had up to $10,000 for the grant. On the third and fourth years that we currently have contracts with Main Street for, we have them for 5,000. So this upcoming grant will be up to 5,000. We have just seen on the fiscal side of things that in order to make it a quicker process and in order for people to get their funding quicker, the smaller amounts work better for the short amount of time that is given for that grant money to be spent, which is 3 months. So we do ask once you receive the funds that it's spent within the 3-month period.
Yeah, we saw that too with some of the environmental sustainability grants. And people just, it's amazing what you can do, like with $5,000, right?
Yeah.
It's just, people become very innovative. And so this kind of work, I think, from the city's side and into community, this kind of model of micro grants, it just, I have seen so many amazing things happen with the micro grants. And they're so much more flexible and quicker access, and
Right.
it's brilliant, and so thank you for, I don't know who made that all happen, Monica, but thanks to all the people who did that. Alice has her hand up.
Hi, Monica. I'm sorry if I missed this because I got distracted a little bit ago. Um, but the trainings, how long are they and how often do they happen?
So it is a 6-month training program, and it's only 12 days out of those 6 months. It usually falls on a Tuesday during the week. From
Okay.
9 to 5 is the time that we're asking for those 12 days. 5 of those days will be with Main Street with their leadership curriculum. 4 of those days will be what we call COSA days, where we bring in different departments, similar to what Peter said. We bring in the Office of Sustainability, we bring in Arts and Culture, Economic Development, of course, our Development Services team, Public Works, and Capital Delivery teams. All the teams that would really be engaged in any of the projects that would be going on. And then we'd have working groups that would be a separate ask. And that would be, like Peter said, to really dig in and develop your project with these specific departments. So you do have that leadership aspect, but then you also have different departments throughout San Antonio who are also leading you through planning your project. So you always have somebody that's gonna kind of support you through the work.
Excellent. And just to kind of throw it out there, I'll email you more details. But Sacred would love to support the grantees with their outreach effort on their projects and see how we can partner to help them get their message out there
Oh,
somehow.
fantastic. We'd love to
Yeah,
connect. I did drop my email into the chat, so if anyone
yeah,
has specific questions, we can always do some one-on-ones or we can connect later.
perfect. Thank you. I will do that.
Sure.
And
And
Monica, on that schedule, is there a retreat also planned for this cohort like we had
Yes.
at the very
So
beginning?
it is a 2-day retreat, and that's backed into the front of the program. And those are 2 days that are added into the 9 curriculum days, which brings us up to the 12, because there is an orientation before the retreat, but that one's only an hour session that's virtual. So the orientation is first, then we have a 2-day retreat with Main Street. They're the ones that provide that. And then we go into the leadership and COSA days.
Can you put the link in the chat for the application and all of
Yes,
that?
absolutely.
The deadline for everybody again is March 10th.
Yes.
And there is a question of how many people can participate in this training?
We have up to 15 people that we are choosing for this cohort. Sorry about
So
that.
if
Okay.
you apply, then that doesn't necessarily mean you're in the cohort. So 15,
Mhm.
I'm assuming all this 15 then are chosen to be a part of
Yes.
the leadership cohort. Okay.
So after you apply, we do have a few of our directors that will do an informal interview with you, usually virtually, just to find out more about, why you want to do the project, what your interests are, what kind of project you might be thinking about, or why you even want to take the leadership program. It's pretty informal, but they just do like to get a face-to-face with anyone, just to kind of gauge their interest in the program. So yes, there is a selection process during the application phase.
And then the actual training begins. When does it begin?
So our first orientation is slated for the 27th of March. And then the first days that will be in person will be that leadership retreat that's scheduled for the 31st and the 1st of April.
Great. I had another question. It just went through my head. Oh, this is more of a statement for everyone, including you, Monica. But this At the Intersection is recorded, and it will be posted. Billy usually posts it with no later than Monday kind of thing. So if any of you are interested in doing this or interested in sharing this with other people too, you could utilize this recording. If you need to talk to somebody else about applying or whatever, just to use, the portion of the recording that discusses this process, this program. So keep that in mind. Any other thoughts or questions?
I did want to mention we have an information session coming up next Wednesday at 10 a.m. It is going to be via WebEx. So I will put the registration for that as well. If anyone wants to go through that information session, we'll have time for Q&A. I'll be leading the session. My manager will be on the call. And so if there's any outline questions or anyone that's interested that didn't get this session but wants to come, we're going to lead that session next week on like I said, on the 4th. So,
And folks, then there's still time to apply.
yes.
So if you're really interested, I'd encourage you to go to the information session and get even deeper, and there's still time. So Monica, thanks for fitting us into your schedule.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's been kind of a strange morning all around with us and technology.
Sorry about the technical support
Oh,
issues,
no.
but we're all in it
It's
together.
like
You're not the only one this morning. You should have been on earlier because
yeah,
we're
it was
all just
wild.
doing
It was
our
wild.
tech things. But I don't know, Peter, did you still want to show the film or?
Yeah, I think we could do that. And as I pull that up, if I can share.
Billy
It should be
has a
open.
share. Right. So you two can talk if you need to figure that out.
If it's a link, you
Monica,
can send me
thanks
a link and I
again.
can share it.
We'll be signing off at 8:45. We try to get the meat of everything by 8:30 so people could just come and get those
Okay.
portions. Monica, you're more than welcome to stay
Absolutely.
with
And if
us.
there's any ever any need
Yeah, let
for
me
small
send it to you.
business
Let me send it
resource
to you, Billy.
presentations, I can also help with that. Like Peter said, I'll be presenting on that today at his event. And so I'm open to help anyone who needs that assistance.
Right. So how we doing, Peter?
I'm going to send it to Billy.
Okay.
Do you have any outline questions?
Yeah. I think we're good. I had no idea that I've heard Peter talk about it, and I really did need to know more about it. And I didn't know, but it's an exciting thing. San Antonians do need to know about it because that's some really amazing work within our city. So,
Now, I would say one thing as I'm doing this is if you connect with one of the cohort members and shadow the group and see how you can benefit if it opens up again and that's something you're interested in, even if you don't get in this time, I think it's a great opportunity to, that's what I did. I was actually shadowing Erica Benavides when she went through the first cohort and supporting her. So I was really able to kind of see the connections she was making and the strides that she made, which really laid a great foundation for me.
I would like to say a quick thank you to the Raindrop Foundation for their interfaith Ramadan dinners that they've been hosting. I got to go on Tuesday night with 3 friends, and it was terrific. Wonderful event.
as we get to know our faith neighbors, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so important. So important. How we doing, Billy? He's
Still can't get
shaking
it
his
over.
head.
I haven't seen anything from Peter. Email, text, or chat?
For some reason, my computer's freezing up over here.
Yeah,
What's
one of those
going
days.
on? It's
I'm
one of
sorry.
those days.
It's just that kind of tech morning, you
The
know?
gremlins
I
have
don't
found
know.
you too.
Yeah, it's just one of those. We're not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
If you, oh, there was something there. Did Monica put something in chat? What was
Anna,
that?
can you find it? I can't get it out for some reason.
I do have a link to our website. If everyone would like to watch the video on their own, the video that he's talking about is linked to our website that has a few testimonials from some previous cohort members, as well as more explanation about the program, and some people also from Main Street that speak about the program. So you can always watch that on your own time. But if anyone has any specific questions, feel free to reach out to me via
It's
email.
stuck. It won't let
And
me
we're
get
here
out
to
of there.
support. No worries about the technical support today.
Yeah. But Monica, thanks for
Yeah,
putting
I'm
that
sorry.
link in. Everybody, the link's in chat.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to leave it to the guys to decide here, Billy and Peter.
It's
Are
okay.
we?
Okay.
They're still working
Yeah,
on it.
but yeah, it looks like I can't get it over for some reason. It's locked up. I can't email out for some reason.
Yep, it's all good. We all
I-
need to know when it's time to let go. We're going to let go this morning, this little
Okay.
part. You
So
can watch it
I
at
can
night.
share if you want to, but I don't know if we have time. And I'll put the link to the video in the notice that we have on Sacred with the video. But I'll put that link in there as well.
That'll be
So thank you all. Again, another beautiful morning out there.
And I put information about the Democracy Conference March 4th and 5th online with people in 12 other countries. The Thrive. What do we need for democracy to thrive? So keep that in mind.
Thank you, Martha Ann. So thanks to all of you. Get outside and enjoy the beauty at least a minute or two. And have great weekends. And we will see you next week at the intersection when we talk about and hear about peace by 2030. Thanks all.
Okay.
See you
Thanks,
soon
Ann.
again.
Have a blessed weekend, San Antonio.
Yes.
Thank you.